Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm currently away to see some of Jen's family, so the setup is a bit different this week. Anyway, while I am away, I have brought a few different bits of equipment with me. I have obviously bought my X-T4 to film this video, but I've also bought my GFX and my new Mamiya 45mm f2.8. I've spoken about this lens before in a previous video, and I said in that video that it wasn't going to leave my GFX for the first few weeks of owning it, but that's not really true. I have barely used this lens or even my GFX for the past few weeks. When I have used the GFX, I've been using it with the Miticon to get photos for my tattoo project. By the way, I have actually made a video about my tattoo project. I'll put a link here, probably like up here or in the description, and I would really appreciate you to go and check it out, as the analytics are actually a part of my university work and I need the video to do like an okay amount of views and interactions, and right now it's currently doing very bad. So yeah, if you could go check that out, that would be amazing. Anyway, since I've been prioritising using the Miticon, I've only used this 45mm f2.8 a few times. I first used it when I was getting some photos of my stepdad when I first ever got the lens. I used it for the second time in a tattoo shoot, and I used it for a third time when I was getting some golden hour portraits of Jen. I also used it to get some portraits of my mate Caleb just after doing the tattoo shoot, but that's not really its own shoot, that was just us testing the lens out and getting a few photos. I was hoping to have more use with this lens before making this video, but I've surprisingly gotten quite a good feel for it. In no way is this video a review, it is purely a first impressions video of just 3 things that I have noticed about this lens in my very limited experience of using it. So I'll just stop waffling and we'll get into the video. And the first thing I noticed was how this lens should actually be used. Although I haven't had loads of experience with this lens, I have taken a variety of different portraits. And I think this lens excels in half body shots and headshots. Since this lens is a 45mm f2.8, it is the equivalent of a 35mm f2.2 when using it on the GFX. And since the aperture isn't exactly that wide, it means I can't get that super shallow depth of field look that I absolutely love. But if you get closer to your subject, your plane of focus will become more shallow, meaning you get that super blurry background that I absolutely love. And because of this, headshots and half body shots look so much better in my opinion. I just feel like full body portraits don't have anywhere near as much separation as I would like, and they look like they've been taken just on a full frame camera instead of a medium format camera. I may think differently in the future when I've had more use with this lens, but for now I'll stick with close-up portraits. The second thing I noticed about this lens is just how sharp it is. As you may know, I pretty much only use the Miticon whenever I use my GFX. And this is because I love how you can open up to f1.4 and get that medium format look. However, opening up to 1.4 does come with a downside, as it tends to be on the softer side when you're shooting with it that wide. It's quite similar to the old Canon 50mm f1.2. Some people hate the look and want edge-to-edge sharpness, but I quite like this dreamy look. For me, it just feels more like I've created something, rather than that I've just taken a photo that is a perfect rendition of what I am seeing. But it can be a problem at times, especially when I was trying to get some nice detail shots of tattoos, or when I'm trying to shoot a landscape and I need that edge-to-edge clinical sharpness. However, on this lens that will not be a problem, as it is surprisingly sharp for its age. I've definitely used sharper lenses in the past, just like this 23mm f2 here, but for what I need, this lens is more than enough. When you nail focus with this lens, you can really tell, as eyes just look lifelike. However, it is still difficult to nail focus with this lens, especially when shooting close-up portraits. But when you do nail focus, it is clearly many times sharper than the Miticon. And thanks to this sharpness, I will most likely use this lens for environmental portraits or the occasional landscape here and there. And the final thing that I want to discuss about this lens is a bit of a boring one, but it is the focal length and the minimum focus distance. Since this lens is a 35mm equivalent, it means that the compression of this lens is a lot less than a 50mm equivalent. And the 35mm equivalent focal length is a lot more similar to the human eye. And when you combine this with the minimum focus distance of 1.5 feet or 0.45 meters, you can capture some pretty unique looking portraits that look super close up but aren't anywhere near as close as you think. I have used my fair share of 35mm equivalent lenses that can focus close, but since they have been on a full frame or crop sensor camera, it means that they haven't produced a look like this. The photos look like they have the compression of a 35 to 40mm lens, but they look like they have the focal length of a 28 to 30mm. It's just a very strange look and I'm beginning to like it quite a lot. However, you can only get this look with very close-up portraits, and you can't get it with half-body shots, full-body shots, or even like that in-between of close-up shots and half-body shots. You just can't get it in that range, but you can only get it with super close-up portraits. Anyway, that is the end of this video. It hasn't exactly been a super interesting video, but I thought I would make this video now so you don't have to wait another month just to get some content about this lens. I also just wanted to get a video out this week instead of not uploading, and it's been really difficult to make videos recently as I've been prioritizing getting my uni work done, so I haven't really done anything that is video worthy. Hopefully now that the end of uni has come around, it will be a lot easier to make videos. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.